Hello and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. I'm Rebecca Felgate and today we're talking about the top 10 richest criminals of all time. While it may seem pretty clear that crime does pay, it's a short-term gain. Should you be wondering where these criminals are now, spoiler alert, they're almost all in jail or dead. Coming in at number 10, we have Anthony Salerno. He was also called Fat Tony and he had $600 million. Fat Tony has become synonymous with the stereotypical gangster, as he would often wear a fedora and could be seen chomping on a cigar. Born in East Harlem in 1911, Fat Tony made his money as a New York mobster. He was originally a member of the 116th crew, which was behind a major loan sharking operation. This was originally headed up by Trigger Mike, but when Trigger Mike went on the run, Fat Tony took over. He eventually made most of his fortune in a numbers racket operation. He was eventually imprisoned in 1986 and died in 1992. Coming in at number 9, we have the ever-elusive El Chapo, worth $1 billion or more. El Chapo. Real name Joaquin Guzman, El Chapo is head of the Mexican Sinaloa cartel. He became Mexico's drug kingpin in 2003 and is known as the most powerful drug trafficker in the world. Thought to be worth at least $1 billion, El Chapo specializes in cocaine and is widely considered to be the next Pablo Escobar, and also is currently public enemy number 1 in America. He was first sent to prison in 1993, but he was able to escape in 2001. He escaped prison a second time in 2015, but was caught again and then extradited to the USA in 2017. He's still alive, but it seems unlikely he'll ever escape prison again. Next up, the only woman on our list, and she is fascinating. We have Griselda Blanco, aka the Godmother or the Black Widow. She was reportedly worth $2 billion before her death. This absolutely vicious woman was a leading member of the Medellin cartel. A rare female drug lord in a male-dominated field, Griselda was every bit as fierce as her male counterparts, or perhaps even worse. She ordered 200 deaths in her time, and the Colombian national was a huge influence in the Miami drug war. Raking in the cash and racking up the bodies, Griselda was eventually sent to prison, although later released. She was killed in Colombia in 2012, aged 69. Coming in at number 7, we have the Rodriguez Orahula brothers, worth $3+ billion. The Orahula brothers formed the Cali cartel, a Colombian drug smuggling group. These guys at one point were responsible for nearly all of the product in the United States and Europe. These two drug lords made a heck of a lot of money, although it does have to be said that the Cali cartel were much less violent than the Medellin cartel. Eventually, the pair of brothers were arrested and their assets seized. Both are imprisoned at separate jails in the United States. Another Colombian drug lord at number 6, we have Carlos Lida. He individually had $2 billion or more. Carlos Lida was one of the co-founders of the murderous Medellin cartel. He was in charge of drug running from Colombia to an island in the Bahamas off the coast of Florida. He used to use a stolen light aircraft. Carlos was also a member of the guerrilla group MAS, a violent retaliation group that fought against the kidnapping of cartel members and family members. He was eventually extradited to the US in 1987 and sent to prison for 55 years. Coming in at number 5, we have Khun Soe, worth $5 billion. Khun Soe was a Shan warlord from then Burma. Seizing Shan and Wa, Khun went into the opium production trade and also the heroin trade, making himself a very successful and a very rich drug lord. Despite requests from the US government that he be extradited when he was discovered shipping heroin, the Burmese government allowed him to stay in the country. He died in 2007, aged 73. Coming in at number 4, we have Al Capone with $100 million. Head of the Chicago outfit, a Southern Side criminal syndicate, Al Capone made a huge amount of money in the Prohibition era of the 1920s. He did this by running a bootlegging business. It is reported that at the height of his criminal career, Al Capone made $100 million a year, which in its day was a heck of a lot of money, perhaps closer to $1 billion a year these days. Capone was sent to Alcatraz, a famous high-security prison. He was diagnosed with syphilis and gonorrhea, which eventually led to his serious decline in health birth and death in 1947. With $6.7 billion at number 3, we have Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar. Dawood is an Indian gangster and an extremely wanted man. Currently 61 years old, he is at the top of the largest organized crime syndicate in Southeast Asia. They're called D Company. His business includes smuggling drugs and weapons, and the US government have called him an international terrorist. There is a reward for $25 million for his capture and imprisonment. Coming in at number 2, we have Amado Carrillo Fuentes, who was worth around $25 billion. The second richest criminal of all time was also the boss of the Mexican Juarez cartel until 1997. He also seized the crown after killing the former kingpin. Also known as Lord of the Skies because of his vast number of jet planes used to smuggle drugs, he became so rich and successful that both the Mexican and American governments wanted him arrested. As a result of the mountain of pressure for his capture, he underwent drastic plastic surgery to change his face. Unfortunately for him, his rise to power had left a sour taste in many mouths, and he was murdered along with the surgeons whilst he was under the knife. Finally, at number 1, we have Pablo Escobar, who before his death was worth up to $30 billion. Everybody knows Pablo Escobar as the most infamous drug lord of all time. The man was so stinking rich at one point that he even had his own zoo. The richest criminal of all time before his murder in the 90s, he was worth an estimated $30 billion, which is like $55 billion today. His drug network was the Medellin cartel, and he had trade routes across the world. His resume is pretty extensive, so it's actually worth researching this guy in his own right. Suffice to say, he waged a brutal and bloody war within Colombia, although many Colombians do still hold him in high esteem. He was shot and killed by the police the day after his 44th birthday. If you guys haven't watched Narcos yet, I also would recommend it. So guys, that was the top 10 richest criminals of all time. As I said, most of them are either in jail or dead, so don't turn to a life of crime. I'm Rebecca Felgate. Do let me know what you thought of this video in the comments section down below. If you liked it, make sure you give it a good thumbs up, share it with a friend, and stay subscribed for more entertaining videos coming at you twice daily. I'll see you next time.